we're given that the cos is negative. So that tells us where to go. Remember, cast system, cos is positive, all is positive, sine is positive, and tan is positive. So if cos is negative, that can only exist in these quadrants. So we're only in the second and third quadrant. Then we have to apply the domain of theta, which is like the range where theta can and can't exist. The range is between 0 and pi, meaning the values can exist in quadrant 1 and 2, but not in quadrant 3 and 4. This leaves us with just one quadrant where we can put our terminal arm. So let's draw our terminal arm. Terminal arms always have a length of 1, but we're going to get to that in a minute. First, we put our angle theta, it's the acute angle or the reflex angle, always with the x-axis. Next, we look at the ratio or the fraction we have. We know cos is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So our adjacent would be root 3 and our hypotenuse would be 2. So our adjacent would be negative root 3 and our hypotenuse would be 2. But we're going to change the hypotenuse in a minute because we know the terminal arm is always 1. So again, our adjacent to our angle theta is negative root 3. And this is a special triangle. We know special triangles have magnitudes of 2 and root 3. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The other length on the 30, 60, 90 triangle is 1. Next, we convert all of the values because our terminal arm can only have a length of 1. So that gives us 2 over 2 equals 1. And we divide everything else by 2. This gives us everything we need to find all these things now. To find the angle theta, we just use our knowledge of special triangles. 30, 60, 90. Where does the 30 and the 60 have to go in this right angle triangle? 30, the smallest angle, goes opposite the smallest side length, which is 1. Therefore, theta equals pi over 6 radians, which is 30 degrees. To state the angle theta, we have to use the absolute angle, starting from 0. The absolute angle theta is pi over 2 plus this space in here, which we could calculate. Or we could calculate the absolute angle by pi minus pi over 6. Theta equals pi minus pi over 6. We'd make a common denominator. 6 pi over 6 minus pi over 6, giving us 5 pi over 6 radians. Next, we'll find the ratios given these angles theta. So this ratio sine is opposite over hypotenuse from this reflex angle theta. The opposite is 1, or 1 over 2, and the hypotenuse is 2, or 2 over 2. We use the fraction form mainly for our point on the terminal arm. If we used 1 and 2, or the fractions 1 over 2 and 2 over 2, we would get the same thing when we divide them. So I'm just going to use the whole numbers. So again, sine is opposite 1 over hypotenuse, 2. 1 over 2. Next, we use the tan ratio. Remember, tan is opposite over adjacent. So again, I'm not going to use my fractions. I'm going to use the whole numbers. It's the same thing. So opposite is 1. Adjacent is negative root 3. Therefore, the tan is negative fraction of 1 over root 3. Finally, to find the point on the terminal arm, that's why we had to convert all the side lengths by dividing by 2, because the terminal arm has to be 1. Point on the terminal arm is just the coordinate using the x and the y. So the coordinate is x, y, We have x and y here. That's what we found earlier. X would be negative root 3 over 2. And y is a half.